You are now listening to the Moedim series, a series where we read about the Moedims, the High Holy Days, the Feast Days, the Set-Apart Days of Yah. This week, we'll be taking a look at some of the laws and commands regarding first fruits and Feast of Weeks. We're going to start off in Leviticus chapter 23, reading verses 9 through 22. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Yasharal, and you shall say to them, When you come into the land which I give you, and shall reap its harvest, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yah for your acceptance. On the morrow, after the Shabbat, the priest waves it. And on that day, when you wave the sheaf, you shall prepare a male lamb, a year old, a perfect one, as a burnt offering to Yah, and its grain offering, 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, an offering made by fire to Yah, a sweet fragrance, and its drink offering, 1/4 of a hin of wine. And you do not eat bread, or roasted grain, or fresh grain, until the same day that you have brought an offering to your power, a law forever, throughout your generations, in all your dwellings. And from the morrow, after the Shabbat, from the day that you have brought the sheaf of the wave offering, you shall count for yourselves 7 completed Sabbaths. Until the morrow, after the 7th Sabbath, you count 50 days. Then you shall bring a new grain offering to Yah. Bring from your dwellings for a wave offering 2 of bread, of 2/10 parts of fine flour. They are baked with leaven, first fruits to Yah. And besides the bread, you shall bring 7 lambs a year old, perfect ones, and 1 young bull and 2 rams. They are a burnt offering to Yah, with their grain offering and their drink offering, an offering made by fire, for a sweet fragrance to Yah. And you shall offer 1 male goat as a sin offering, and 2 male lambs a year old as a peace offering, and the priest shall wave them, besides the bread of the first fruits, as a wave offering before Yah. Besides the 2 lambs, they are a kodesh to Yah for the priest. And on this same day, you shall proclaim a kodesh gathering for yourselves. You do no servile work on it, a law forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, do not completely reap the corners of your field when you reap, and do not gather any gleaning from your harvest. Leave them for the poor and for the stranger. I am Yah, your power. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 9 through 12. Count 7 weeks for yourself. Begin to count 7 weeks from the time you begin to put the sickle to the grain. And you shall perform the festival of weeks to Yah, your power, according to the voluntary offering from your hand, which you give as Yah, your power, Barak you. And you shall rejoice before Yah, your power, you and your son and your daughter and your male servant and your female servant and the Levite who is within your gates, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, who is in your midst, at the place where Yah, your power, chooses to make his name dwell. And you shall remember that you were a slave in Mitzrayim, and you shall guard and do these laws. Exodus chapter 34, verses 22 through 27. And perform the festival of weeks for yourselves, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times in the year are your men to appear before Yah, the power of Yasharal. For I dispossess nations before you, and shall enlarge your borders, and let no one covet your land when you go up to appear before Yah, your power 3 times in the year. Do not offer the blood of my slaughtering with leaven, and do not let the slaughtering of the festival of the Pesach remain until morning. Bring the first of the first fruits of your land to the house of Yah, your power. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. And Yah said to Moshe, write these words, for according to the mouth of these words I have made a covenant with you and with Yasharal. Numbers chapter 28 and verse 26. And on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain offering to Yah at your festival of weeks, you have a Kodesh gathering. You do no servile work.